Okay, so today we're diving into something that's been creating a lot of buzz lately.
A lot of buzz, yeah.
LEO Internet Services.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is, and we've got a ton of research articles, news reports all about this, and it really does feel like we're on the verge of something big.
Oh, absolutely. This is game-changing technology, especially for folks in those, remote corners of the world.
Exactly, like internet beamed down from space. Who wouldn't be excited about that, right?
Straight out of science fiction.
I know, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's make sure everyone's on the same page here.
Yeah, good point.
What exactly is LEO internet, and how is it different from, that old satellite internet that, frankly, most of us have been pretty disappointed with?
Right. Well, the big difference really boils down to location, location, location.
Okay, so the satellites themselves.
Exactly. See, those traditional satellite internet services, they rely on geostationary satellites way, way out there, like 22,000 miles from Earth.
Wow, that's a long way.
It is. And all that distance, it creates lag, that annoying delay.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. You try to do a video call or even just load a web page, and it's like watching paint dry.
Exactly. And that's because the data has to travel all the way out to that satellite and back again. It's like trying to have a conversation with someone standing on the moon.
Haha. Okay, I get it. So LEO satellites, are they just closer then? Is that the main difference?
Closer, and there's a lot more of them. They orbit at around 1,500 miles above the Earth. So much closer.
Okay, so much shorter trip for the data.
Exactly. Think of it like this with those GEO satellites. It's like taking a cross-country road trip with all the traffic and detours.
Oh boy.
But with LEO satellites, it's more like hopping on a high-speed train zipping between cities much faster, much smoother.
I like that analogy. And, it makes sense, especially when you think about the potential for things like, video calls, online gaming, even just basic web browsing in those remote areas.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. It's not just about individual satellites. They work together in these massive constellations, hundreds of them, constantly communicating, covering the entire globe.
So no matter where you are, there's always a satellite nearby.
Precisely. It's a game changer for people in rural areas, developing countries, anyone who struggled with limited internet access.
You mentioned in one of those articles the impact this could have on rural education. That's got to be huge.
It is. Imagine students in remote villages suddenly having access to all those online resources, educational videos, interactive lessons. The possibilities are endless.
It's pretty amazing. And, we've talked about speed and latency, but what kind of speeds are we actually talking about here? Can this really compete with traditional broadband?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking speeds up to 1 gigabit per second. That's fast.
Seriously, a gigabit.
A gigabit, think about downloading an entire movie in just seconds.
Wow.
And with latency as low as 20 to 30 milliseconds, it's almost as good as fiber optic.
Okay, so seamless video calls, online gaming, all that stuff that was basically impossible with the old satellite internet.
Exactly.
All right, so it sounds pretty amazing. But let's be real here. There's got to be some downsides, right? It
Yeah.
can't all be perfect.
Well, of course, there are some challenges, like any new technology. The initial cost of the equipment can be a bit steep.
I was going to say there's got to be a catch.
And while the delay is way better than traditional satellite, it's still not quite as snappy as a fiber optic connection.
Okay, that makes sense.
And some providers might have data caps, limiting how much you can download or upload.
Right, right.
Plus, there's the whole issue of potential signal interference, although researchers are working on ways to minimize that.
So it's a developing technology, but with huge potential.
Absolutely.
And, when you think about the bigger picture, the digital divide, all those people who still don't have reliable internet access.
Right.
Could LEO internet be the key to finally bridging that gap?
It very well could be. I mean, think about the impact on education, healthcare, economic development in those underserved communities.
It's huge.
Students in remote villages connecting with teachers around the world. Doctors providing telemedicine consultations. Entrepreneurs launching online businesses.
It's amazing to think about all those possibilities.
It really is.
And, one thing that struck me in one of those articles was the environmental impact of all these satellites.
Oh, yeah. That's a crucial consideration. As we launch more and more satellites, we need to be mindful of space debris and, potential disruption to astronomical observations.
Right, making sure it's sustainable.
Exactly.
So much to explore and understand about this technology, both the opportunities and the challenges.
Definitely.
But I got to say, I'm feeling pretty optimistic after this deep dive.
Me too.
What about you? What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway from all this?
For me, it's the realization that high-speed internet access, it's no longer a luxury. It's a necessity in today's world.
It really is.
And LEO internet, it has the potential to make that a reality. for millions, even billions of people.
It's not just about faster downloads, it's about empowering people.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up, here's a thought for our listeners to ponder.
Oh, right.
If Leo Internet does indeed bridge this digital divide, how will it reshape our world?
That's a great question.
What new possibilities will emerge when everyone has access to information education opportunities online?
It's an exciting future to contemplate.
It really is.
Definitely is.
All right, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Leo Internet services.
My pleasure. Anytime.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.